Yo, this is your resident moon employer. This is take 3 of this video because I can't stop saying in between every sentence. I watched the Black Desert Online video and it was painful. I think I said like 200 times. It was absolutely awful. I'm thinking about taking it down or maybe remaking it, but for now I'm a pretty lazy person, so we're just gonna leave it the way it is. And I don't want to edit, so you know, you guys are just gonna have to deal with that. Oh, there it is again. Yo. It's really frustrating. I need to get better at speaking and being okay with there being like silences in between me speaking, especially if I'm not gonna like, you know, edit. When you're editing, that's not a problem, you know. You can splice things together and just, but I don't want to do that. So what's today's video about? What are we talking about? Well, first of all, I don't know why, but I like to explain what I'm doing in the game in the video. There it is again. Listen, we're free skating in Berlin. You know what it is, right? By now, Berlin's my favorite map, especially at night. It's very chill. So far, one person has joined me. It was in the middle of the video that I scrapped, and they were like, "Yeah, what's up?" You know, just a standard greeting stuff. And then he asked me to start a graffiti game. I'm like, "I'm just free skating, my man." And I think I brought this up in the first video I made, titled Anxiety 1, I'm pretty sure, where people will join and ask me to start like a match, and I'm like, dude, read the server name, man. It's Chill Free Skate. There's nothing chill about sweating it out and trying to hit, you know, 10 million point combos. You know, I personally, I don't find that relaxing, so that's not the vibe I'm going for in this server. You know, this server is always going to be for people to come chill, to skate, to chat. Sometimes I'll do this, you know. I'll pick up my board and I'll sit there and I'll just chat, you know. It's fun to skate and all that, but sometimes, you know, the conversation is good and people are very active in chat and you just want to sit there and talk. I've seen it. Other people do the same thing, where they're so engaged with the conversation, they just chat, you know, and that's fine. You know, it could be a glorified chat room. I don't care. It's all about the vibes and chilling and hanging out with the community. So I always get off track. You see that? I was like, what am I doing in this video? And then I go off on this tangent. Jesus. I irritate myself sometimes, but it's fine. So the video, what's today's video about, the topic? Well, I wanted to talk about what I did this morning at about 5 o'clock in the morning. It's 5 o'clock in the morning and it is cold. It's raining. I'm in Florida right now, North Florida. And the weather has been really ugly. Like, it's been raining pretty much 24/7. Thunderstorms, like some of the loudest thunder I've, you know, ever heard in my life has been going on around here. It's been a little, you know, jarring because, like, you know, I don't do well with stress. So, you know, being made to jump doesn't, it kind of upsets me more than a regular person. That's also why I decided to put down Resident Evil 2 for the time being, because even though I was enjoying it, it was making me jump, you know. It has these tense moments where I don't care about being tense or dealing with like horror situations. I don't care about that gore. I don't care. But just the sudden jumps, I don't like. For now, right? This is something that I'm eventually gonna get over, and it's gonna take time. It's gonna take effort. But once I get there, you know, I'll be able to enjoy those kind of games. So, but for now, you know, I gotta stay in my lane and understand that I have my limits and my weaknesses. So, what did I do at 5 a.m. here? I'm going off on another tangent. What did I do this morning? Well, let me paint the picture for you. It's 5 o'clock. It's raining, real cold outside, and it's just me. Now, the other day, well, before I talk about the other day, right? Just to give you some context as to why what happened today was a big deal to me. I developed, I don't know what to call it. I don't know if it's agoraphobia or what. Agoraphobia. I can't talk today. But it's really hard for me to leave my house. Now, I can leave my house, but like the further away I get from my house, or well, my apartment, the more anxious I get. Because I have this irrational fear that I'm going to have a heart attack or some sort of medical emergency, and I'm going to be too far away from home to get care. or if I don't have my phone on me, just in case I need to call somebody at a moment's notice. I had developed that fear, and it's been keeping me from going on my walks and taking care of myself. I know I can work out at home, but being surrounded by nature does wonders for the mind, especially if you're going through a lot of stress like I am. I spoke to my therapist about it. She said, yeah, you need to reconnect with nature. It would be a really good idea for you to get out there and get some fresh air and spend some time in nature and spend some time talking to people in the real world. So in an effort to start doing that, I know that I know that I could have picked a much better time to go for the walk, not at 5 a.m. when I'm all by myself, but I had to do it. I felt like I had to do it. I felt like I had to test my strength. I felt like I had to put myself in a scary situation for me to really grow, because that's where growth comes from being in uncomfortable situations, from doing things you don't want to do. So I did the thing I didn't want to do. I did the thing that terrified me. And I went all the way down the road. It's a really long road. It's like more than a football field away from my apartment, and that's a big deal for me. So I went outside and it was raining, and I let the rain hit me in my face. And I usually have coping mechanisms with me if I'm doing something uncomfortable, like my phone. I'll watch a video or listen to an audiobook, or I'll call my mother, or I'll call somebody. But this time it wasn't like that. I decided to go it alone, because this is my war. My peace has to come from within me. It has to come from me. There can't be any external circumstances that I can't count on all the time. I can't depend, my peace, my life, my tranquility cannot depend on something like that. So I decided to go by myself. I took my glasses off. I wear glasses, my vision's terrible. I didn't go with my glasses on because I was like, you know what, this is my true form. My vision sucks. So I'm gonna face this monster. I'm gonna face this fear in all my glory, in all my flawed glory. So, I started walking. I stopped at the exit of the apartments right before I decided to start walking, and I thought about it. I paused, hesitated, gave it a little bit of thought, and then let's go to Nolans. And I started putting one foot in front of the other. I started walking. So on the way there, I was actually fine. I was actually feeling pretty confident. Felt a tinge of anxiety here and there. No problem, right? Thought it was going to be easy, honestly. I looked at the end of the street and I saw the street light, the last street light on the road, and I was like, you know what? That's my goal right there. If I make it there and back without freaking out, without something happening to me, I'll be okay. And the idea was more that nothing's going to happen to me. Not that I'm not going to have a panic attack or anything, because it's very likely that I was going to have a panic attack. That I was going to feel bad or nervous or scared. But I took that chance. So I walked, and I was fine. I got to the street light, and I felt good. I felt amazing. I was like, man, this is such a big deal to me, the fact that I can make it here. But when I turned around, and I realized how far I was, that's exactly what my problem is. That's what my fear is. I'm so far from home. If something happens to me, I can't get help. And this fear was amplified by the fact that it was 5 in the morning and there wasn't a soul around. During the daytime, maybe somebody, like a passerby in a car or somebody that's walking on the side of the street might have seen me and helped me. But in this situation, I was all alone. And that's what I wanted. I know that sounds reckless. I told my dad about what happened, and yeah, he lectured me. He's like, man, you can't keep doing that. You can't go outside or not keep doing it. I've never done that. You can't do that. You can't go out in the middle of the night and stuff. It's just a bad idea. And my mother said the same thing. So, that's just parents being parents. But in my head, bro, I needed to do that. And it was the best thing I've ever done in my life. I started to panic. I saw how far away my apartment was, and I panicked right there in that moment. I tried so hard to fight it off. I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I was good this whole way over. Why am I not good now? I don't feel any sort of physical thing, because it's usually physical things that bring it on, but this one was mental. So I told myself, calm down, calm down, you're good. And I was honestly convinced that I was going to die right there. because of how bad the panic attack was, because of how bad I felt, because how hard and fast my heart was beating. It started skipping beats, and it was a terrible situation, honestly. I'm shredding right now. And I got down on one knee. I kneeled over, and I was like, that's it. I clutched my chest, even though it wasn't hurting. It was just my heart beating fast. And I was kind of ready to just lay down and die, honestly. I was about to lay down. I was actually about to just lay down and just be like, yeah, finally it's going to take me. I'm going to die. But, and this is just weird, man. I didn't think about it. Like, in that moment, all of my thoughts left my head. My head emptied itself out completely. I didn't have, you know, I wasn't capable of thinking in that moment. And I got up. I stood up and I started walking. And let me tell you something, after those first 2 steps, I felt nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was as if I wasn't anxious at all. As if I didn't just have a terrible panic attack a few seconds ago. And I was trembling. My legs felt weak. My hands were trembling, but I didn't feel scared anymore. I put one foot in front of the other, and I kept doing it. And I started to clench my fists, and I really started to squeeze. And I got shivers. And I started to talk out loud. Yes, very cringe anime moment, I don't care. I started to talk out loud. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I know that I was somewhere along the lines of, you are strong. I can't live my life like this. I can't live my life cowering in fear forever. And I kept talking to myself as I walked closer and closer towards my apartment. And I got there. I made it to the entrance, and I started to cry because I was so proud of myself. I was so happy and so impressed with my mental fortitude, with my bravery, with how strong I was right there. And I went home. I was a little antsy for a little while after that, obviously, because there was a lot of adrenaline, but I was fine. That's the most important part, is that I was fine. And I felt that ever since that happened, I've been in pretty high spirits. Now, whether or not that's gonna last is, you know, who knows. But right now, honestly, I feel like a different man. I feel like I defeated and conquered my fear. I stared it down, and I did not look away from it. So, if you're watching this, and you have something you're afraid of, and you feel like there's something that is holding you back from living your life, that is holding your head under the water, use this video, use my experience as an example, as proof that even if you're the most broken, you know, beaten down, stressed out, tortured human being, you can still come out of this. You can come out on the other side of this alive. Maybe not perfectly well, but well enough. And if you do, and as always, at the end of my videos, I always say, if you need someone to talk to, I'm here for you. Always. That's why I'm here. You know, not only because making videos is relaxing to me, but because I also have developed empathy as a result of my suffering, and I want to help other people too, because I don't want anyone to go through what I've gone through, and still am going through. So, I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you for watching. Thanks again. Shout out to my first subscriber. Appreciate you, bro. And until next time, Moonplayer out.